Dunk-a-Roos, Dunk-a-Roos, Dunk-a-Roos cookie and frosting.
Surge. It's a fully loaded citrus soda.
Today, we're opening up the pantry of the past and taking a trip down memory lane to explore some of the most beloved and bizarre foods from the 1990s. These were the golden years of food innovation and questionable flavor decisions. It was a time of neon colors, extreme sugar, and cartoon mascots on everything. But sadly, many of these iconic snacks, drinks, and candies have disappeared from our grocery store shelves. Whether they were discontinued, new and improved into something unrecognizable, or just too weird to survive, one thing's for sure: we're craving their delicious taste now more than ever. So grab a, now defunct, Squeez-It, settle in, and get ready to embark on a mouth-watering journey through time as we reminisce about the 10 discontinued 90s foods we wish would make a comeback.
High C Ecto Cooler.
High C Ecto Cooler. Founded in 1987 by High C, Ecto Cooler was a promotional tie-in for the real Ghostbusters animated series. It was a neon green, tangerine-flavored juice box that was, frankly, more popular than the cartoon itself. During its peak in the early 90s, Ecto Cooler was the undisputed king of the school lunchbox. It featured the Ghost Slimer on the box and was so beloved that it outlived the show by over a decade, finally being discontinued in 2001. Despite brief, limited-time comebacks for movie reboots, we all miss the days when we could bust ghosts and our thirst at the same time. Now let's move from our drink to the ultimate dipping snack.
Dunk-a-Roos, Dunk-a-Roos, Dunk-a-Roos cookie and frosting snack. You don't just need...
Dunk-a-Roos. Launched by Betty Crocker in 1990, Dunk-a-Roos were the snack that defined a generation's recess. The concept was simple: a small tray of cookies, vanilla, chocolate, or cinnamon, with a separate tiny tub of glorious, thick frosting for dipping. In its heyday, the most popular flavor was the vanilla cookie with rainbow sprinkle frosting. Finding one of these in your lunch was like winning the lottery. However, despite its cult following, Dunk-a-Roos were discontinued in the United States in 2012. While they have made a recent comeback, many 90s kids will tell you the cookie texture and frosting flavor just aren't exactly the same as the original. From a snack that was all sugar to a drink that tried to be all clarity. Crystal Pepsi. In 1992, at the height of the 90s clear craze, PepsiCo launched Crystal Pepsi. It was a caffeine-free clear cola that was supposed to be a healthier, purer alternative. The marketing was huge, featuring a famous Van Halen song in its Super Bowl ad. For about 1 year, it was the talk of the town. Everyone had to try it. Unfortunately, the problem was, it tasted like Pepsi, but looked like Sprite, and the cognitive dissonance was too much. It was a massive flop and was pulled by 1994. Today, it's the most famous failed experiment of the decade, which is exactly why we want it back. Speaking of famous experiments, how about a candy that was dangerously good?
Butterfinger BBs! Unbelievable snackable balls!
Butterfinger BBs. Introduced by Nestlé in 1992, these were tiny marble-sized spheres of crispy, peanut buttery Butterfinger, all coated in milk chocolate. They were famously promoted by Bart Simpson with the slogan, "Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger BBs." During their prime, they were the perfect movie theater snack. You could pour a whole bag directly into your mouth. They were tiny, shareable, and addictive. Sadly, they were inexplicably discontinued in 2006. Nestlé replaced them with Butterfinger Bites in 2009. But any true fan knows the chocolate to candy ratio is all wrong. It's just not the same. From a tiny candy to a soda that was trying way too hard to be extreme.
Surge, it's a fully loaded citrus soda with carbos. Feed the rush.
Surge Soda. Launched by Coca-Cola in 1996, Surge was a high-caffeine, high-sugar, citrus-flavored lifestyle soda. Its color was a radioactive green, and its marketing was aimed squarely at teens who loved skateboarding, video games, and, well, caffeine. It was the ultimate rival to Mountain Dew. For a few glorious, hyperactive years, Surge was the fuel for all-night GoldenEye sessions. But the extreme bubble burst, and sales eventually fizzled out. It was discontinued in 2003. While it's had some limited releases since, we miss the days when this much extreme energy was available in a can. From a can of extreme energy to a can of Cheez.
Regular and new family size.
Planters Cheez Balls. Oh, the iconic blue can. Planters Cheez Balls were the aristocrat of cheese puffs. While Cheetos were great, these were lighter, crispier, and had a uniquely tangy, day-glow orange cheese dust. During the 80s and 90s, that psst sound of opening the pressurized can was the signal that a movie night was about to begin. Planters broke our hearts when they discontinued them in 2006, claiming they weren't popular enough. After years of public outcry, they finally brought them back in 2019. But they were gone long enough for us to know true loss. From cheesy fingers to sticky plastic bottles. Squeez-It. This was the other king of 90s drinks. Squeeze-Its, made by General Mills, weren't just about the juice. They were about the bottle. They came in soft, squeezable plastic containers with character faces molded into them, and you had to twist off the little plastic top. They had names like Chucklin' Cherry and Silly Billy Strawberry. The real prize, though, was finding one of the rare color-changing bottles. The brand faded away in the early 2000s as bottle-shaped drink pouches, like Capri Sun, took over the market. Now let's talk about a chip that added a whole new dimension. Literally.
My Doritos 3D. Grab.
Doritos 3Ds. Launched in 1998 with a legendary Super Bowl ad, Doritos 3Ds were not chips. They were hollow, puffed triangles of Dorito flavor. They were airy, crunchy, and you could fit them on your fingertips. The jalapeno cheddar flavor was a fan favorite, and for a glorious few years, these were the chip to have at any party. But, like many 90s innovations, they were quietly discontinued in the mid-2000s. A different, less puffy version has returned, but it has yet to capture the hollow, crispy magic of the original. From a puff of air to a frozen solid block of pudding.
Cosby here, unveiling new chocolate-covered Jell-O brand pudding pops. Creamy inside.
Crunchy outside.
Jell-O pudding pops. A staple of 80s and 90s freezers, Jell-O pudding pops were a true marvel of food science. They weren't quite popsicles, and they weren't quite frozen pudding. They had a unique, creamy, yet icy texture that was impossible to replicate. Famously advertised for years, these were the ultimate childhood summer treat. The chocolate, vanilla, and swirl flavors were classics. However, they were discontinued in the mid-2000s. Jell-O has since licensed the name to other companies, but the product sold today is just a standard, creamy popsicle. It lacks the icy, crystal-like texture of the original. From the freezer aisle to the most magical part of the cereal aisle.
New extreme cream Oreos, part of this good breakfast. Give it up for the cream team.
Oreo-O's cereal. Introduced in 1997, Post's Oreo-O's cereal was a dream come true. It was a chocolatey, O-shaped cereal with actual creme-flavored marshmallows. It was quite literally cookies for breakfast. And it was incredible. It was wildly popular. A top seller for Post. But its downfall was a corporate divorce. When Post and Kraft, who owned Nabisco Oreo, split in 2007, Post could no longer use the Oreo name or the recipe. The cereal vanished for a decade. While a version is back on shelves, it's a different recipe, and for years, fans had to import the original version from South Korea. From the slimy green of Ecto cooler to the dusty blue can of Cheez balls, the 90s were a wild, weird, and wonderful time for our taste buds. These snacks may be gone from the shelves, but they are not forgotten. They're the flavors of our childhood, one discontinued bite at a time. What 90s food do you miss the most? Did we forget one? Let us know in the comments below. And until next time, don't eat all the Dunk-a-Roos frosting in one bite.